That music, very cool. Welcome to Grandma's Kitchen. We're going to be doing a simple Jamaican jerk and fried plantain dish today. I'm also, if I have time, show you how to make a refreshing Jamaican drink. First of all, we're going to get started with chopping up some ingredients and getting our jerk ready. As you can see, I've laid out some of the spices for the Jamaican jerk. I'll go over what everything is. I'm a firm believer in not going by a traditional recipe, so I lay everything out as is. We have some paprika. This is parsley leaves, cayenne pepper. This is a little bit of curry powder. California pepper, 2 habaneros, coconut flake, allspice, coriander, bay leaf, clove of course, and fresh chopped green onions with a little bit of thyme. Also, what's going to go inside on top of the food itself, we're going to be doing jerk shrimp today. Onions will go on as well. These guys are here for drinks, so don't worry about those. And as mentioned before, I will also be frying a plantain. As you can see, I've laid out some of the spices for the Jamaican jerk. I'll go over what everything is. I'm a firm believer in not going by a traditional recipe, so I lay everything out as is. We have some paprika. This is parsley leaves, cayenne pepper. This is a little bit of curry powder. California pepper, 2 habaneros, coconut flake, allspice, coriander, bay leaf, clove of course, and fresh chopped green onions with a little bit of thyme. Also, what's going to go inside on top of the food itself, we're going to be doing jerk shrimp today. Onions will go on as well. These guys are here for drinks, so don't worry about those. And as mentioned before, I will also be frying a plantain. So as I pointed out earlier about having all of the ingredients here, I've also had others, also with vegetable oil, that I put into a magic bullet. And we are going to chop all this up. Not like this. All right, we're gonna blend all this together. Hopefully if it's too loud, we'll put some music over it. I'm pretty sure this is traditional Jamaican technique. All the other videos on YouTube are exactly the same. There's a lot of seeds in there, so we want to make sure that it's really, really chopped down so I can still see a lot of graining. Alright, we're going to check this. Let's see. Can you see it? And that's probably zoomed in, but... Oh, it smells so good. I make everything by smell and taste. And I want this to have more pepper in it. So we're going to add a little bit more spice to it, and then we'll come back. So, it wasn't tasting as good as I wanted, so in the fashion of not having a recipe. I added more clove, allspice, a little bit of nutmeg, black pepper, and it smells and looks exactly like I want. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna spread this all over some shrimp, probably with gloves, because I don't want my eyes to burn when I touch them. We're gonna put this all over shrimp. And we'll get to that in just a second. Welcome back. Safety first, as always. We're going to put on some gloves because I'm going to be dealing with this jerk. You who is watching this knows how hot these are. There's 3 of them in the jerk. I was gonna put 4, and then I realized probably not a good idea. I like spice, but not as much as the woman holding the camera. Speaking of the person holding the camera, thank you, Erica. My girlfriend's holding the camera. She also pointed out that this looks very similar to mole. Mole, a traditional Mexican dish, which is amazing, actually. No, if Mexico would have been a cool place to get. Anyway, I'm gonna add some of the jerk to the shrimp. What I also have, which we probably won't be a part of this, but I also bought some chicken. So traditionally, jerk is often thought of as jerk chicken. These are chicken wings that I'm going to do them for. Not everybody in the house eats fish as much as I do, or seafood. So traditional would be chicken, but we'll get to that later. Cool. We're gonna mix up the jerk into the shrimp. Let's add more. More of the solid, actually. It's better. There it goes. And next, I'm a really dirty cook, if you haven't noticed. I like to get messy, but that's all right. All right, so I'm gonna lay these out on a sheet so that we can bake them. Hold that there. No, doesn't really matter. I'm getting everything dirty anyway. All right, so traditionally these won't be baked. Naturally they cook outside, which I would have loved to have done, but this class wasn't taken in spring, which would have made a big difference. And it probably would have tasted a lot better too, actually. But the oven works just fine. We're going to spread these guys out. Oh, it smells so good. Watch, my grandma's going to come out and be like, it stinks. This looks fairly well. I'm going to put them in the oven at 375 for as long as it takes them to cook. I don't want to give you a time just yet. I'll let you know when they come out. Cool. We'll pop these guys in and we'll see in just a moment. Dang it. I forgot. I'm going to toss all of this on here. Hopefully I don't spill anything in the oven because then Grandma will yell at me later. Ugh. I can already hear it now. Damn it, I dropped something. Shh, don't tell her. She'll be alright. Alright. So, traditionally, or at least every time I've seen jerk cooked, chicken, of course, they always put chopped up chives and sometimes onions on top. So I just want to stay true to that. I'm going to get started on this chicken and we'll see when that comes out. Let's start a timer. Welcome back. So while those are inside the oven, we're going to take care of this guy here. This is a plantain. I had 2 of them, but somebody ate my other one. Whatever. We are going to peel it first on both sides. If you've never had a plantain, they're very similar to a banana, as you can tell, although they are way more bitter, and they fry really well. This looks like a corn husk. They smell different too. Alright, So I'm gonna slice it long ways. If it fucking stays still. It's pretty slippery, but I want it to just stay still. Bastard. Yeah, fuck this thing. Anyway. It's like horrible. Now I know I don't slice them long ways usually. This shit is not easy. We're gonna do it. Ooh, there's almost a slice. That'll work. Maybe we'll only get one slice. Alright. Ah! It is really slippery. Alright, whatever. Where I picked up the bananas, or the plantains, they said that when they're yellow, they're good for grilling. As we stated earlier, it's not good weather for grilling, but that's okay. You know what? That's not going to be a long one. And it smells really good though. Cool beans. There's some slices, one more here. And cool. So we got our banana, or our plantain, ready to go. Although this one's really thicker than the rest. Whatever. We're gonna fry them up, and I'll show you in just a second. Cool. So we have our sliced plantains that I'm gonna fry up for us. This is super simple. There's nothing fancy about them. If we want to add anything onto them, we can do it in a little while. But we'll fry these guys up for now and see how they come out. Watch it sizzle. Cool. So we're going to turn these periodically just to make sure that they don't burn. That color on that is exactly actually what I'm looking for. They smell good. But, come on. Alright, cool. We're just frying these in canola oil, I believe it is. Nothing fancy about them yet. I'm going to try to sweeten them up a little bit with maybe a tad bit of brown sugar at the end, so that it caramelizes on top, but we'll get to that in just a moment. Cool. We're going to check on our shrimp. Oh, where's my little handy thing? Oh, this will work. Fuck it. Alright. They're really hot. They smell amazing. I wish you guys could smell what this smells like right now. We have the chicken in there underneath them, but they still have plenty of time. Cool. We'll continue with our fried plantains. I think these two are going to pair very well together, especially if we sweeten up the plantains just a little bit, because the spiciness from the shrimp will, I think, go really well with a slightly sweet fried plantain. Alright, so these guys are about to get taken off. I'm going to sprinkle just a tiny bit. Oh, I guess that's a lot of it. Alright, we're going to put a shit ton of sugar on them. Apparently. I didn't realize I grabbed so much. But we're going to let the sugar caramelize a little bit on the top of these guys. And we're going to pull them off. Actually, we can pull them off right now. Cool. So what I'm going to do, let's get these guys off of here. Struggling. It's really hot. Ooh, that burns. Cool. So these are our fried plantains. We're going to let them cool off a little bit because they're piping extremely hot. When our Jamaican jerk comes out, we'll see how they taste together. So, the shrimp look quite well. I'm going to pull these out of the oven. Oh my god, they smell so good. Smells incredibly fresh. Cool. And get a good shot of that. When we come back, we will be eating it. Actually, we're also, while these cool, I'm gonna make a drink out of, it's Australian, but Australian ginger beer, and some hibiscus tea that I just boiled up a little bit ago. You guys didn't get that on footage, but that's okay. I'll show you what we're gonna do in just a second. Well, welcome back. We are going to get a fantastic little drink going, and that's a mode to Bob Ross. We're going to make a ginger beer and hibiscus mix. It's incredibly refreshing, really, really good for a hot day. I've drank 2 of them already. We're gonna start with, well, just to let you know, this is just hibiscus that we boiled down. My dog is drinking water right now, so he's fat. He likes to drink a lot of water. Chewy, dang. He's thirsty. He's probably drunk. He's hungover, probably. Anyway, so we boiled down some hibiscus. It's incredibly concentrated, but that's okay for what we're going to use it for. As my traditional fashion, I don't know how much I'm adding, 2 of these, which is like a lot. I also like, for aesthetic, put a little bit of hibiscus in there. And I'm gonna pop the top on this little fella. And Bundaberg, I don't know, it's Australian. Couldn't find Jamaican. The only thing I found that was Jamaican was Red Stripe, but that's not what we're drinking right now. Just fill up the Tom Collins glass that I chose for this. I'm going to fill it up. No, that's not good. Whatever. There we go. Perfect. So, we're going to mix this up just a tad bit. I'm also going to add a little sprig of thyme. This is just fresh thyme, but I think it adds a very nice aromatic touch to it. But this is fantastic. It's really good. Maybe I'll bring some to class. Cool. Well, this is what everything came out to be. I've had a bite. Your finger is in the way. I've had a bite. It is really good. The shrimp is really spicy, and the plantains are perfectly done. The sugar on top was fantastic. I'm not gonna make you watch me eat because that's kind of weird. Although I will have a piece of shrimp actually. But I like to eat with people, so I'm definitely not gonna eat by myself. But bon appetit, and thanks.